So, hello and welcome to the We Will Listen podcast. So, this is the fourth podcast, and for this podcast, we have something special. So, today, instead of one host and one guest, we have two hosts and two guests. So, that should be me and Karan Jain as the host. I am Vihaan Gupta,
I
and
am Karan.
today we have two guests with us. That is Asmi and Aryan Verma. So, hi Asmi and Aryan.
Hi Vihan, hi Karan.
Hi. So, would you guys like to introduce yourselves? I believe we have
Yeah,
introduced Asmi,
I'm
so Aryan will require your
Yeah,
introduction.
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm Aryan. I'm 18 and I'm like pretty pissed off about the board exams and I'm considering my life options right now. Pretty bad.
Yeah, that's a
Cool.
great introduction, actually.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Very
On point for the time.
exactly.
So, let's cut to the chase and let's
Yeah.
start with the actual question. So, for all of our listeners and all of our viewers, I'm currently in class 12th. He's
And
in
I am in class. I have, as board exams have been cancelled for class 10, so I've just been promoted to class 11th. And
Asmi is in class 10th, and Aryan is
11th.
yeah. You technically you guys haven't been promoted yet because your internal assessments haven't been
Yeah, undeserving class 11th.
and Aryan is also in class 12. So we have two class 12th
12th, he's and
students and two class
class
10th promoted
promoted.
students.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
Falsely promoted.
Better topic to discuss about then board exams.
yeah, so both of them have got their board exams cancelled, and
Yeah.
both of us have got our board exams postponed.
Yeah.
So let's start with Aryan. Aryan, how do you feel?
I feel devastated. I really feel devastated. Like, I don't know what they were thinking, but I think about it like, who does this actually benefit, this decision?
Hmm.
Like, if you're one of those like nerds who studies 24/7, even those, like, I'd have preferred to focus on my entrances, my sats, if I was considering those. But no, I thought I would get into DU or some good top 10 colleges of commerce by my 12th quota. Like, general quota is like very very high, so yeah, I really had to focus on my board exam so I get enough good marks and go into some good DU college, and on the basis of my quota. But no, like, they don't consider us anything, and they just are delaying again and again. Like, this is the second delay we've faced, and I don't know how this will affect the college cutoff. Like, general cutoff is already skyrocketing already. It on an average it is like 97-98% for the general category.
Yeah.
And if the boards are delayed and the college semesters also have to start, like, I think they start at 1st of September, October, September,
Yeah,
right?
and if you're going abroad, they start in mid-August.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, like, it's even though, so we really have to be free of our exams, but no, they just keep delaying. Like, I agree with that ki, corona is real, COVID-19 is really affecting our education, but still, like, uh on some insider information, on the account of some insider information, I heard that they were planning to, like, divide the 12th into two groups, and they would, on the basis of roll numbers, like even roll numbers they will call
On
in the morning, and the odd roll numbers in the evening, and they'll make like 6 question papers. So, matlab, on the my tuition teacher who's in touch with CBSE staff told me ki maybe this will happen. So yeah, that was a really good option, but no, yeah. So basically, in conclusion, I'm feeling really bad because it didn't affect, because it affected me very adversely, and it actually benefits those who didn't study for the board exams and who just enjoyed their whole 12th class. Yeah.
Exactly, and since it was in all of the education we did in this year, it was all online. So most of the students they didn't study. Most of them they didn't study, and it's not exactly their fault. It's kind of the situation's fault, and
Yeah.
it kind of does benefit them because they have an extended time period for their preparation. But in the end, what the main reason the government gives and the main reason CBSE gives is that for the protection of children, so that children are safe. They are safe from
If they
corona.
really cared about the protection of children, they would have delayed the previous JEE exams, like
Exactly, they did.
the one which happened way before
yeah.
when the coronavirus was on peak.
Exactly, the September ones.
They didn't delay that.
Yeah, the September ones. That was the last year JEs. They were in September. And
Yeah,
this year
yeah.
JE they conducted in February and March. And to be honest, I went to both of them and I saw that what was the situation there. There were protocols which were just for the sake of being there. Like I'll tell you a protocol I had in my center. I'll not disclose the center, but in that center I had a protocol that I had to remove my actual mask which I was wearing and wear their mask. So I was removing my mask, and in that process, I am exposed. I am exposed to the virus if there is. So technically, the protocol, COVID protocol, was there just for the sake of being there. And the point was that it's not really about health; it's more about a political statement.
Yeah.
But enough about whether it was right or wrong. The thing has happened. Let's come to the aftermath that we all are facing.
Yeah.
How is it affecting people's mental health? To be very honest, I'll start with mine. I was pretty bummed when this happened. Pretty bummed, like so much so that I shouted in frustration and I was very angry. I was stomping around my house and I was very, very angry that my boards have been postponed further because I guess like 2 days ago we both had this conversation
Yeah,
that they
exactly.
might postpone.
Not even 2 days ago, the day before.
The
it
day
happened.
before.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a conversation that they might postpone and we were very scared about it.
Yeah.
But he got lucky, it got cancelled. And
It wasn't even that I got lucky. Basically, my reaction was pretty mixed. Like at first, I was like, okay, yeah, I get to enjoy it. And but after that, a realization
Yeah,
hit
like
me that
all your efforts which you put in studying for your 10th boards, like they all wasted. Like they'll not
exactly,
even matter in the future.
exactly. When I first heard the news, मैंने कहा यार good, I'll get to enjoy. But then when I saw the books lying around in my room and I just recalled all the efforts that I had put in board exams, I was pretty devastated too. Like कि हाँ सारी मेहनत तो गई पानी में गई and like very true. And उन्होंने भी एक चीज बोली थी like all the students weren't even very serious about the pre-board examinations. So like giving marks on the basis of internal basis might or might not be the best thing to do. And the thing that they've carried out that if you're not satisfied with your internal assessment marks, then you can reappear for the boards. I don't see any logic in that because if you're not letting children give the boards, उसके बाद कौन बच्चा बोलेगा कि हाँ मेरे को देना है examination भले वो कितना ही unsatisfied हो.
exactly.
Plus, most internals are based on your teacher-student relationship and not the actual academic
Exactly.
performance.
Exactly. There comes a lot of nuance there. So it actually might not even benefit, it might actually harm. Ask me what was your reaction when you got the news?
Yeah, I was actually like at first I was just excited because exams ही देने पड़ेंगे, yeah. But then yes, like same the effort that I put in, I did not study at all for like 10 months, and then I did start studying and like and it was very I did study a lot, but it was all in vain. So I was bummed about that. But it was all fine.
Yeah, so you were basically lucky that you started to study extensively very late.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of the same. I started studying in like February or March, let's say March.
Most 10th class students do this only.
Yeah.
Aryan, I don't know about you. You were a topper, but for me, I started in December and we had our exams in March.
Yeah.
Right. I started in December after I completed my NTSC. So I actually started studying for both so that late. So did you guys. But
Yeah.
the thing is that in the end, you got your exams cancelled and your efforts were kind of in vain.
Exactly.
And so has it been for us. Because Aryan, we both know that we have studied for board exams for a very long time. And with this
And very
extended period,
extensive.
a lot of other students get to, prepare well and the competition increases.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you were enjoying before, now you have more time. Like I was, is NSFW words allowed? Or NSFW words allowed?
We'll recommend not to, but it's up to you.
Up to you.
Yeah,
I was,
beep it.
yeah, beep it. Just
Yeah,
please.
we'll beep it. Okay.
I was rubbing my off studying for 8 hours a day. seriously, I started studying 8 hours a day since the beginning of February. Okay, like
Yeah.
8 hours a day is pretty lot. I'm not bragging, but yeah, I did study 8 hours a day since February. So basically, मैं था, like I was a I
I get your frustration. I get
Yeah,
your frustration
seriously.
because I have been through that phase. Because not everybody knows this, but I left my focus of my entrance examinations of engineering, and I shifted my focus towards board examinations in January itself. So I started preparing for my board examinations in January itself, and since it's getting so extended, it's really frustrating क्योंकि बाकी सब लोग भी उतनी preparation कर रहे हैं.
yeah, they have the opportunity to be on par with us now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what really is.
And that too, like if you have started the preparation late, then the more recent it is, the sadder you will become, because तुम्हें उतना recent trauma है कि भाई मैं कल ही 8 घंटा पढ़ा था. And literally it was with me like that. मैं उस सुबह जिस दिन ये news आई, मैंने सुबह सुबह मैथ्स के example paper solve किया था. The first thing that stuck in my mind was, okay shit, board cancel हो गई, जो मैंने सुबह 3 घंटे waste किए वो सारे वेन में चले गए. So yeah, the more recent the effort is, तो तुम्हें उतना गंदा trauma हो जाता है. And yeah, very true. मेरे को मतलब सबको ही उतना इक्वली अफेक्ट किया. नॉट दैट कि 10th वाले बहुत ही ज्यादा खुश हैं. इट हैज अफेक्टेड देम नेगेटिवली एज वेल. इट्स नॉट कि बहुत ही
I
ज्यादा.
don't even mind. Like, ठीक है भाई, मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ 8 घंटा. Like, but I also sacrifice my social life. I stopped
Exactly.
going
You have
out.
to, if you have to put in those hours, you need to sacrifice something.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so the people who didn't, मतलब उनको तो सही है ना, वो सही.
Yeah, exactly. And like the basically the thing is, as you mentioned, that the people who didn't study for the whole year, now they have a chance to get par with you. And you, like who has been
Yeah.
studying for the whole year, and now there's a chance that the competition will increase. Okay, so let's talk about this only. What should be the mental stage of students now? Would they be more relaxed, more tensed, as specifically talking about 12th classes? So what do you think, generally from your friends and relatives, what you have seen? Has the pressure increased, decreased? Has it just like continued? What do you think?
I think the pressure really continued. Like, we all know how studying feels like. Like, the more you study, the more you feel like कि हाँ, I haven't studied enough, like not on par with the board level. So I mean, in my case, like I tend to think that, and I tend to study more in the hopes that कि I will prepare more अच्छे से. But
Yeah.
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 So
Okay.
the pressure is, to be honest, like continuing, not decreased.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess everybody has talked a lot about exams now. So let's circle back to the mental health portion of it. So yeah, I wanted to talk about how was studying online for a whole year. Actually, more than a year.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a year, but it's more than an academic year for us now.
More than yeah.
So how was studying online for a whole year? How did it affect your mental health? Aryan, let's start with you.
Honestly, it was pretty great at first. Like, you were able to bunk classes without any effort and so like I didn't especially focus on attending my online classes, since I really thought at the beginning that coronavirus would just go away and we would all be back to normal in 1 or 2 months. But yeah, as we know, it didn't. So first, the mental health was pretty great. Everybody was very happy that we didn't have to go to school.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's all
and
about.
as the year went on, like, so we did have to eventually start appearing for classes because padna hai, obviously.
That just
So
shows that
for
students, sorry I'm cutting you, that just shows that students right now only live in the present. हमें मतलब it's we cannot blame ourselves as well, but we like to live in the present कि ठीक है अभी बंक कर सकते हैं तो कर लेते हैं. उसके बाद even though we know कि आगे जाके क्या पता हमें ये affect करे, हमारे board preparation को affect करे, but we just take it lightly at the time. So yeah, ask me, what do you think about online classes and how it affected students' mental health?
Yeah, same. I had like the starting, I loved it. Every day the classes would get spammed by some random people, and the teacher would rant about that, and then the class would get over. It was very
you're welcome.
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, so like
Yeah,
like
continue. Sorry for interrupting. Continue.
Okay, cool. So, मतलब we were all like, "Ma'am, net नहीं है." Yeah, my and like nobody actually focused on the classes,
yeah.
and it was all fun and games until the mid-term examinations, and actually
Exactly.
we had to study.
Even
So
the mid examinations were also fun because, like, of course, everybody's gonna cheat. Like, it was so easy to cheat.
It was,
Even
yeah.
after all the guidelines, like, we have to keep our camera on at all times. Like, students are beeping smart, and you'll also figure out a way to cheat.
Yeah,
Exactly,
exactly.
everybody does. And even if that, it didn't really matter because even if some people didn't cheat on their midterm exams, me being one of them, I couldn't actually. I couldn't. I'll not explain the situation right now, but I couldn't cheat. So what happened was, even if I scored well, others who cheated and scored equally well,
Exactly.
the marks didn't matter.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
exactly.
felt like studying didn't matter at all because
Exactly.
everybody is at par, and it's not going to make you stand out if even if you put in the hard work, or even if you put in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
going to make a difference. So that is why it really affected my mental health, and especially during midterms, I couldn't cheat, and I had my scores probably lower than some people that had not studied at all, and that really pissed me off that they are scoring more and I'm scoring less, even though I had this in my mind that I have prepared properly and they haven't. But still, when the marks showed now, I lost my motivation to study for the next few weeks at least. I thought
Yes,
कि
for real, man.
नंबर तो आ नहीं रहे, नंबर तो उतने ही आ रहे हैं, क्या करना है पढ़ के, बाकियों के उल्टा ज्यादा आ रहे हैं मुझसे, क्यों
Yeah.
पढ़ूं मैं?
Yeah.
सीरियसली बहुत बहुत ज्यादा इरिटेशन हुई थी उस पॉइंट
Demotivating also. Yeah, it's very demotivating.
Exactly. And like, ठीक है, and also like मेरे साथ भी exactly same था, not exactly same. It's not that मैंने cheating नहीं किया, I did cheat, but it was like I who usually performed good in exams, I was performing equally well as I performed like in ninth or eighth. बट उसके बाद बाकी बच्चे तो इतने मतलब कुछ ज्यादा ही आगे पहुंच गए, क्या सीरियसली मेरे लिए भी सेम था. इट वाज वेरी डिमोटिवेटिंग. इट वाज बेसिकली दैट कि मेरे जितने मार्क्स सबके अब आ रहे हैं तो मेरे को पढ़ने की क्या मोटिवेशन है, मैं भी चीटिंग ही मार लूंगा. एंड लिटरली सम ऑफ द टीचर्स वर अवेयर ऑफ द फैक्ट एज वेल कि चीटिंग मार रहे हैं बच्चे. सो लिटरली वन ऑफ माय टीचर्स टोल्ड मी दैट यू डोंट नीड टू बी डिमोटिवेटेड, बोर्ड्स में चीटिंग नहीं बचेगी, तो बोर्ड्स में ये जो चीटिंग कर रहे हैं ये वो होगा. अब वो अलग बात है, बोर्ड्स ही कैंसिल हो गए, सो उन बच्चों
या एक्चुअली उनके पूरा दिन, उनका पूरा साल कितना, फॉर देम इट्स सो फ्रूटफुल, जो जिन्होंने पूरी 10th कुछ इन एक्चुअलिटी कुछ पढ़ाई नहीं की, दे चीटेड, एंड इवन इफ दे चीटेड दे गॉट गुड मार्क्स इन देयर इंटरनल्स. इन द एंड, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे व्हाट दे आर गेटिंग इज कि उनका ये हो गया कि ठीक है इंटरनल से पास हो रहे हैं, एंड इफ दे आर गेटिंग पास विद द इंटरनल्स.
Yeah, like I said, like, who does it really benefit? It benefits the people who enjoyed the whole year.
Yeah, it
And
does, and
it's
actually it
really
affects the
demotivating.
mental
And
health. Yeah, I'm sorry, I mean that it affects the mental health of people who have actually studied and who have actually put the effort in it. So actually the person who is suffering is the person who has put in effort.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that was it about mental health during the COVID. Let's talk about mental health in general. Aryan bhai, what all factors do you think you have in your life? I don't need you to reveal any personal details, but what factors do you think have affected your mental health over the past year apart from the pandemic?
It's like, see, everybody has different mental needs. Like, some people, like, you have talked about this in the past in your podcast. Like, very many people seek social validation, and like, it's a basic human need at this point in this digital era. And like I said, I sacrificed my whole social life during this
Yeah.
during this boards and stuff. And so, like, I had to adjust. Like, I don't really seek clout and social validation, but still, I like, it really feels good.
It
I'll
does.
not
Yeah, it
It
does.
does.
disagree
Being
with that.
socially active, being popular, it
Does
really
feel
it does feel good. It's a
It does
temporary
feel
feel
good.
no.
good.
नहीं, like ask me specifically about you. So yeah, but like we have talked about mental health with you as well on the podcast, the previous podcast that we had. But like, what specific factors in your life, like social media given by like Aryan, what other factors did affect your mental health during the pandemic, except for the pandemic?
Yeah, it was like the only thing I can think about right now is social media. I did a very deep cleanse of my like social media. I before the pandemic, I used to crave huge validation. I was like one of those people, but after it, like 2 3 months, I was exhausted by this fake scenario that I had created online. So I just like removed everyone that I did not know, and I just had like 50 people to talk to, actually like talk to, and then I started to like not text anyone, and
Yeah.
nobody texted me. So I was like pretty lonely sometimes, and it was very awful at times, but it was also well like I did enjoy my own company.
Yeah.
It has been a roller coaster, to be honest.
So like,
Yeah,
what if
honestly, it
you have?
depends from person to person. Like
Yeah.
I started to adjust to this, like Asmi said, clearing out her account, and like it. To be honest, quarantine and this COVID and pandemic really taught me a lesson of self love. Like you need to
Yeah.
love yourself to live. I really did improve myself upon a lot, like physically and mentally. And also living with parents 24/7 was a nightmare. um
It still
that
I
really
is.
think all
affected
of
my
us can relate to
mental
that.
health.
Yeah.
That really affected my, especially when you have like parents who scream 24/7 at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Even,
Like,
Plus
yeah,
one.
exactly, like parents, basically family also played a very important role, positively or negatively. Like for me, I had a lot of fights with my parents, being very blunt, but I feel like it basically created a bond that I never had with my mom and dad, because they were busy in their own lives. They're working parents, I was busy in my school life. So at least through fight, at least even if we argued, even if it wasn't very pleasant, but still it just created sort of a bond between me and my family, and it played a very different role for everyone. I'll not say that it was very positive for a lot of people. It can be negative as well. But just sharing my own experience, it seemed like very negative at first, but at this point when I do realize is that I was very thankful for parents who actually now understand me. They didn't understand me earlier, but now they actually do understand me. So yeah, parents being at home and you sharing the same home with them did play a very important role in one's
You know,
mental
the
good
health.
for
point
you,
is that
man.
in the pandemic, when everybody was together, what happened was that your personal space was no longer there.
Yeah,
When
Yeah,
the parents are working and you are going to schools and coaching, what you do is that you have your personal space. Here, what happened that you were in the house for so long that students were in the house for like past 13 months now.
yeah,
It's been 13 long months if you think about it. We've been in our houses, minimal going out, and what happened was we were very close to our parents and we lost our personal space. And when you lose your personal space, you tend to get frustrated.
yeah.
You will get
yeah,
frustrated, you will get into fights. But as he said, it's right. It creates a bond, it makes you feel closer, although it isn't very pleasant, but it is something.
It is something.
good for you, man. I fighted a lot, and my relations have definitely worsened with my parents. But good for you.
Yeah,
It affects everybody differently.
yeah.
It does. It really, really does.
Like Karan said that parents, we had like there was a lack of privacy. For me, the lack of privacy led to my parents seeping into my private life, which made us closer. Basically, my parents also did shout at me for like being on social media, wasting time with friends, which was basically my personal life, which they were not aware about if they hadn't been at home. So they shouted at me. They were very angry at me कि तू पढ़ नहीं रहा है, तू ये कर रहा है, तू वो कर रहा है. But after all, they did understand me as a person for really who I am. जो मेरी private space थी, उसको उन्होंने sabotage जरूर किया, but उसको sabotage करने के जरिए ही they got to know me better. And obviously, every parent doesn't want their child to be indulged in a lot of things. वो चाहते हैं पढ़ाई करे, वो उसके लिए डांट पिटती है हर किसी को. but like still it led to my parents realizing who I actually am. So like it was kind of a double-edged sword for me during the pandemic.
It's a bittersweet. It's a bittersweet thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
What about you?
especially when you get shouted on even after studying for 8 hours a day. Yeah, very bittersweet.
As I said, it depends from household to household. It's
Yeah.
just a case scenario of your parents being at home. It can turn out negatively and positively. What about you? Ask me. What was the role of your parents in your private and personal life?
Cannot remember a single day when I did not fight with like either one of my parents. Every day was a struggle, a fight for sitting in my room too much, for not going out with my friends once or like I was the most careful in my whole family during the pandemic, and I was the one getting shouted at for not being careful enough. Like my dad got COVID. I went out with my friends several times and I did not get anything. So I don't know who was being less careful, but I was the only one being blamed for it. So
That
that was
happens. That is because of the family dynamic. You are a child, they are the parents. The
Yeah,
dominance is always going to be there.
exactly.
yeah.
Also, Asmi, you can transfer coronavirus without being actually diagnosed. The more you know.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
told you that?
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel
internet,
like we are
WhatsApp
going.
family group, WhatsApp family group.
What's up, family group?
I think we
Yeah.
are going to circle back to personal stuff now. But I think that
No,
now
but
we have covered a lot of stuff
yeah.
that we had to today. It was a really productive and a fun conversation. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think
same
that
here.
will be it for this. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.